I want your weapon. I want your ass. Who the fuck do you think you are?
He thinks he's Rambo.
Rambo is a pussy. What do you know? It's snowing.
That's like 1000%
love that scene.
80s. Yeah. That's 1000% 80s, man. Like the old school music, the corny jokes, like the popping like the main character as like a badass. It's just
Everyone doubting him, like, oh, he's
exactly. But yeah, so
that was
today's
cool. They threw in
episode.
that Rambo reference.
Yeah, I was like, and
I was
that's
like,
what caught my yeah. Rambo's calling out Rambo. But yeah, man, so I wanted to do. We were supposed to do this like months ago. Then we stopped doing movie reviews, and then yeah, all of a sudden we were supposed to do this yesterday. Then I got occupied with a bunch of stuff. So today's the day, man. I know you've been waiting for this one for a while, so I appreciate you. What's up, Michael? Appreciate you, man. And well, before we get into the movie, how's your day? How's it going, man?
so far so good. Today's day one of this big Pokemon Go event in New York City.
Okay.
So I took off and spent most of the day, doing my thing with that game. Spent about a good 5-6 hours traveling the city, walking all over.
Nerd. I'm kidding. So, like I said, I haven't played that game in forever. Like I played that at work. I'd probably be the best at it too because I walk everywhere. But like, what's the status of it now? Is it still the same game where you walk around, find the Pokemon?
Yeah, you're still walking around finding. You're still going to gyms battling to get others. They've improved trading. They've improved the distance. They're trying to get a little more social. So eventually soon we'll be able to chat. I think that's eventually going to happen. But they're really trying to emphasize it and try to break out more of the Pokemon on the current. I think they're trying to catch up to all the series that is out now. But yeah, so tomorrow's like this big event over in Randall's Island where you have to have a ticket and get like all this special stuff that's being given and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
so
cool.
like every year it's like in a different city. So this year was in New York, finally. So
Awesome. Well, man, we're gonna get into this movie. But usually, I don't think anybody needs this, but I usually do this with everybody else. Before we get into it, we are going to. There is here. Let me write it down really quick. Tango. This is easy. And Cash. I don't know why, but spoilers ahead in case you haven't seen it. We did it with older movies.
30 years.
30.
Spoiler alert.
1989 when this movie came out. It's like the last movie of the 90s or the 80s, I'm sorry. But it says it has 3 nominations for awards. As the Razzie Award for 1990, Stallone won one. The Razzie Award for so Razzie Award goes to Worst Actor Sylvester Stallone. Razzie Award goes for Worst Supporting Actor Kurt Russell. And another Razzie Award goes to Worst Screenplay.
It is the formula for a classic 80s action movie. You don't need story. You don't need to know the backstory of everyone. You don't need to know the psychology of why they did it. No, it's just guns, shit talking, hot chick, ultimate bad guy.
There was nude scenes in it too. I was like, wow, this is old. This is what 80s always does. Just nude scenes out of nowhere.
Yeah, like gratuitous ass shots, beaver shots, you name it.
So this is I'm gonna give all you guys another minute, but it's a rated R movie. The movie is an hour and 44 minutes, and like I said, 1989. It's classified as an action comedy crime movie. That's funny.
It was before buddy cop movies got better. With like Lethal Weapon.
This is a good.
This was like a precursor. Yeah.
Buddy cop movies. I was thinking about Lethal Weapon. What's another buddy cop movie? Lethal Weapon.
Bad Boys.
Would you consider Die Hard about Samuel Jackson? No.
I mean that version, but not like the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird because he always has someone helping him.
Yeah, that's what I was like. The first one he has that cop. The second one he has Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know. But buddy cop movie is basically what this movie is. But let's get into some pictures. So we usually go through pictures and we talk about. So we first start off with the director and cast. So I don't know if you knew this, but this movie went through 2 directors.
Oh,
It went through. Yeah. So the funny part is, it first started off with this guy, Andre Konchalovsky. Do you know how to pronounce that?
No.
Konchalovsky. Yeah, but he's the director. But supposedly it's spinned off to 2 directors because this director couldn't agree with the studio on how to end this movie.
Oh.
So he wanted to end it a certain way, but the studio did not want to follow his run. So they went with this guy, Albert Magnoli, and he finished the movie off. It went way over budget supposedly, and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, the movie's ridiculous. I mean, like they have a James Bond car come out of nowhere.
Sounds like what they did with Superman 2. You couldn't agree with the director, and they booted him, and they brought in somebody else.
Exactly.
But lots of movies are like that. I think I even read or listened to something about movie Solo, Star Wars Solo.
Oh, was it? I like that movie a lot.
That movie was trash. They had
There we go.
they had 2 directors, and supposedly the studio couldn't get them to follow the script because what they were doing, the studio wasn't happy with, until eventually they just let them go. I think it was Lord and Miller, which I found surprising. And then they went with Ron Howard.
Oh, see, that's the thing that sticks out for me, Ron Howard. Okay. I never knew that.
That's what kind of kills me. It's just like, really, Ron Howard? Like, I think of like Always and what other movies, and what's the one about the fire department? I think he did Backdraft.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
So that's why I was like, Star Wars. I was like, I don't know. I didn't care for it.
Well, they had that guy do Star Trek and Star Wars, the newest movie. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he did better with Star Trek over Star Wars, but that's just
I think so too, by far. Oh, so I forgot to read this off. It is IMDb rating. Well, I'll go over that at the end actually. So 2 directors for this movie, Andre and Albert, and
okay.
this is the first. I've never seen 2 directors, but like you mentioned, there's a bunch of other movies out there. So starting off with the cast now. We got our boy Sylvester Stallone playing Tango, and I gotta say, man, from the very beginning, 80s hits so hard. He's basically a badass that cannot be stopped. He has a 16-wheeler coming towards him at like 100 miles per hour. He empties his clip and he reloads it for some stupid reason, just to prove to everybody that he's a badass, you know. And then it just blows up after that. I think Sylvester Stallone played this as best as the role called for.
Oh yeah,
but it's
his roles. He's always getting his face messed up. He's always in the dirt, and here he's like some pretty boy hotshot.
Yeah,
different for him. It's like, all right.
I don't know if this was before Rocky or after Rocky, but he looks really like it was after.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he looked like very what's it called? Cleaned up compared to Rocky.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely after. What you think of Sylvester Stallone or Tango for this one?
Oh, I thought he was really good. He was funny, straight edged, different from his normal roles. So, I felt it worked for him. It beats, the stereotypical, oh, I'm dirty and getting my hands all jacked up and whatnot.
Yeah, I think they saved that part for the next part of the cast. Actor. Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely a pretty boy in this one, and I don't know, like seeing this movie was kind of like I actually got to see this movie last week and today, just to refresh it up on it, but I don't know. This reminds me of the movie where he's in with what's Antonio Banderas? What's that movie called again?
Oh, Assassins.
Assassins, yeah.
That was good. That was another good one.
a precursor to that movie. I think it's before that movie because yeah, you could see him sort of develop into it. Assassins is badass. He
Yeah,
plays
because
that
Assassins
role.
was like mid-90s.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I could see a little bit of him here. So he probably took that and took it to Assassins. But yeah, beginning of the movie, he's just badass. Middle of the movie, he's just like trying to work with his new partner, basically. End of the movie, he's, I think he starts to loosen up finally because the next actor. But I think he played it well.
He was the original Murtaugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but anything else you want to say on Sylvester Stallone really quick?
Oh. No.
Good. All right, man. I think this guy stole the show.
Yeah. This is Jack Burton with a badge.
Yeah. Jack Burton. If you know, you know. But what'd you think of Mr. Cash, Kurt Russell?
Oh, this was right up his alleyway. Between Jack Burton, Snake Plissken, any other role. If you ever seen the comedy Overboard with him and Goldie Hawn, he's like one of those blue collar guys. This is just it's pretty funny. Another 80s comedy type of thing, but this one's right up his wheelhouse. Plays perfect to his personality, works blue collar cop, doesn't give a shit. Laughs away, asks questions later.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has I don't know how he does his hair. Like he keeps his hair all like blown up and curly and all this other stuff. It's so funny, man.
It's so feathered and everything, it's just like you don't care about his looks, but yet his hair somehow looks
every scene he's perfect. No, I thought he was hilarious.
And he has the most up-to-date badass guns with the sight scopes and everything. Well, Stallone has this little shooter. It's just like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. Like he had like the fancy guns while this guy didn't care what he used. He just needed a gun. But
he's Riggs, but not as crazy.
Yeah. Definitely. But I think Kurt Russell played it perfectly too. He was out of this world. Every like line he had in this movie was memorable. Like he was just over the top.
He had quick quips. Always had a response to. He definitely played off Stallone.
Oh yeah.
Like if it was tennis, it was like they played off each other so great.
Yeah.
But again, it was the precursor to all the other cop movies, so it worked.
Yeah. So like I mean, in this movie, I think they're without their T-shirts for like 70% of the movie. These guys were fit, man. Like Kurt Russell was as fit as Sylvester Stallone. I never knew he was that fit, like in his like earlier years, I guess. But he was in the bathroom scene with Sylvester Stallone. He looked jacked compared to Sylvester Stallone in some scenes. I was like, wow, this guy's blowing up, man. This guy's crazy.
And mind you, this was probably before high expensive trainers and.
I know,
all that special diets and whatnot. They probably just, smoked, ate meat, lift weights, kept moving.
Yeah, action. But yeah, I think I'd never seen this movie until you told me about it. I've never even heard about it. I thought I've seen all Kurt Russell's movies. I thought I've heard of all Sylvester Stallone's movies, and when this came out, I was like, "There's no way these two pair up," and here we are. They're paired up and everything, and I think they did an awesome job casting these two as the main actors. So then our next piece of the cast is her name is Kiki in the movie, Terry Hatcher. I'm not too familiar with the actress. Like, do you?
She was Lois on Lois and Clark in the 90s.
Yep.
And then she was on Desperate Housewives in the early 2000s, I think. But she's been in so many movies and TV shows that
So I do have a clip of her and Kurt Russell, actually. Let me play it for you guys really quick. And I think you'll find this one funny.
Hey, Lynn, let's go.
I did not ever hear anybody tell me about this scene or talk about this scene, and now I feel like I gotta spread it around the whole world,
And this was a movie, man, no one gave a crap about, oh, he's dressed in drag, he's dressed like no one cared,
Mhm.
And if you listen to the scene in the background, one of the cops makes a derogatory comment that rhymes with
Oh,
bike. And he was like,
oh,
hey,
really?
and he was just like, hey, Captain, he was like, blank with on bike. So it's just like, no one paid, no one, they didn't take the movie seriously. It was all in jest, and it worked.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
needed a way out of the club without being noticed by the bad guys and the cops, and clearly he was way comfortable to get fully decked out the way he did.
I wonder who told Kurt Russell, like, hey, you're gonna be playing a drag queen in this movie, and he was like, sure, why not? Yeah, and he goes
He was
all
like, I
out.
don't know, maybe for an extra 5,000. They were probably like,
Yeah.
sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny, man. Like, but yeah, Terry Hatcher, she plays Sylvester Stallone. It takes forever to figure this out, but she plays Sylvester Stallone's basically Tango's sister.
Yep.
And I always thought it was gonna be his girlfriend, or his wife, or something. I never assumed that was gonna be his sister or family member. But yeah, she had small roles in this whole movie. I mean, like the massage scene was kind of weird. Like it was going all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
And you look at that Stallone's face, and he's like getting all pissed off. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Let your sister get busy, right?
But again, she also plays the stereotypical damsel in distress in the 80s action movie, where it's like she's there, but then at the end, something happens and we have to go get her.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the only show maybe I know her from. Terry Hatcher's from Lois.
Yeah, the Adventures of Superman.
Yeah, so maybe that, but like I wouldn't be surprised if she has a billion other movies because she's beautiful. I mean, she played the part right too. I mean, there wasn't too much to the part, but she played it I think pretty well. And I don't know. I don't even know if we needed this scene right here, but I guess it's the '80s. Why not, right?
Exactly. Oh, she's been in a good number of movies. Oh, that's right. She was in Tomorrow Never Dies, the James Bond film. Totally
Oh
forgot about
yeah, that's right. I remember now. I see her face in that. But yeah, Terry Hatcher plays Kiki, and yeah, and then there's not that many other characters in this movie other than like the boss, which is Vis Perret, and gets played by Jack. No, his name is Jack Palance, right? No, it's
Palance. Jack Palance.
Jack Palance. Yeah, I got it
Yes.
mixed up. So,
He
what
was
do you think of
also
this guy?
He is a brilliant actor. If you ever watch any of his films, I mean, he was the main bad guy in the Michael Keaton Batman in the first
Yeah.
movie.
Yep. That's
So,
him.
and
The very
these are the
beginning.
type of roles he plays,
Evil.
with the exception of City Slickers, where he sounds evil, but he's really, a nice guy.
Yeah, I love City Slickers.
But I just like his voice because it works as a villain. Very calm, demure. I think we should do this. And then before he gets really mad, And tidbit for you young kids out there, he was also the original voice, I should say narrator on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I didn't know
Because
that.
again, his voice was kind of, somewhat scary. I think if he was alive, he could have done Unsolved Mysteries.
I love Unsolved Mysteries. That was classic for me. But yeah, I think he played it well too. It was kind of weird to see him with those. I don't know if they were mice or rats in that little cardboard box or wooden box. That was a little bit weird. But the evil parts where he's laughing in the background or he's trying to get to them, and yeah, he's complete.
Other villains have like cats. They have dogs. They have to have some. All right, let's just change it up. Let's make mice. If I were like, fuck it, just shoot it, just keep it moving.
Just shoot it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I forgot that he was in the Batman movie. I recognized his face, but I couldn't like put him in like the movie. So it was that Batman movie.
Yeah, he's done like a lot of westerns and mob movies, and
Yeah, he's
His resume is
definitely.
pretty extensive.
But yeah, so he basically played the mob boss in this whole movie, and I do love like the whole story about like you don't want to take care of these guys easily. You want to take the longer route, play the long
Yeah.
game and get shut them down, like basically, but not just kill them, which I thought
Mhm.
was. I thought that part of the movie was smart. Like they executed that smartly, but like towards the end of the movie where he tries to like go one on one with these guys, I was like, his henchmen just like could have taken care of the good guys, but he decides
Mhm.
to go after them, and I was like,
He gave me that Han vibe from Enter the Dragon,
hmm
the main bad guy, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna take Bruce Lee on. And it was just like, oh really?
yeah, exactly, yeah,
Already
yeah,
told, okay.
yeah. I mean, what'd you think of the end of the movie with him like going against Kurt Russell and Sylvester?
Well, I guess this is where you see how I guess the studio wanted the ending versus how the original
hmm
director.
That's true. Yeah,
Makes you wonder now what was the ending he had in mind.
he probably didn't have one in mind because like,
It's either that or maybe he wanted to kill one of them.
mm, yeah, sacrifice or something. Yeah,
Yeah, because you know how studios are when it's like, oh, well, if it works, then we can do sequels and we cut the heat.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe that was the mindset. But yep. So Jack Palance, and then we got his another henchman, basically his second in command, right? Like his assassin. They call him the courier in the movie. The thing that made me laugh about this guy is his accent, and then Kurt Russell calls him out on his accent. But what'd you think of this guy?
I liked him.
You liked him a lot, yeah.
Again, I like the villains, and he's that typical right hand man. Like if you ever seen Commando, he's
Oh
like another
yeah,
one of those. Yeah, he's like you have the main bad guy, and then you have his right hand man that does all the work.
I don't know if it was a British accent or was it
Yeah,
Australian
I
or
don't know.
it was like a
Oh, okay.
weird.
Well, according to Wikipedia, he was a Cockney accent. So it's
Oh
supposed to be, I
what?
guess, somewhere Cockney, which is, I guess, a town, not a town, but like a dialect over in England, in the
Okay,
UK.
okay. Yeah.
And the crazy part is he was born in California.
I mean, his accent wasn't the best, though.
Listen, again, you could tell the budget wasn't there.
Yeah.
It went to the two or three people it was supposed to go to, and the rest was just filler.
So there's a scene actually that creeped me out. Is like it got really serious really quick when Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell get apprehended by the prisoners, and they
Yeah.
like basically bag them and they throw them down the laundromat to the
Mhm.
laundromat. And then like when he gets that piece of electrical cord, that part kind of like shook me. I was like, dang, this is getting really dark.
Oh
They
yeah.
started, yeah, he's the one that held the electrical cord, and that guy kind of like shook me. I was like, what's going on? It's getting too
And this
dark.
guy's done a lot of bad guy work in like 80s and 90s films.
Oh really? Okay, I never.
Yeah, he's one of those actors that's like, hey, I know you from somewhere, but you
Mm,
don't know his name, but you've seen him in a whole bunch of movies.
Brian James is his name, but yeah, okay. I probably have to look up the IMDb for him, but yeah, I never seen. I probably did see him in other movies, like you said, but like I can't say too much about him. He's a henchman, and how does he die again in the end of the movie?
Oh, I think they actually put a real grenade down his pants.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, I have that for you. Yeah, here we go.
We never talked about Plan C, asshole. You think it's a dud?
Bam, there you go. Explosion, body parts everywhere. Not
I
an
com-
ounce of blood.
Yeah. You see Sylvester Stallone throw that back kick perfectly like a freaking like in the books and everything, and then this guy just blows up. Grenades actually do not blow up. There's just shrapnel that goes all over the place. I love the
is it?
80s movies. Yeah.
Exactly. They have to go for the big explosion. That's why I'm like, okay, little thing. Okay.
It's a bad kid we do. But yeah, so that scene was hilarious. So I wanted to get these two, Quan and Lopez. What'd you think of these guys? These are basically the second in command, right?
That man, James Hong?
Yep.
He was also in Big Trouble in Little China. He's
Wayne's
in like
World.
so many movies.
Yeah.
So many movies. I think they just gave him a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this year,
Yep.
which is a big deal.
He's like 80 or 90 something, and he finally got it. And yeah, it's definitely worth. Like he's been in a ton of movies. He should have got one long time ago.
He's been in countless movies. You could just, and then when you hear him talk, it's just like you already know. James Hong.
Yeah.
That's with him.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other guy, but it was just like, you know what? Kurt put out a call. It was like, hey, I want my friend James in this one.
Yeah, I think he played it well too. Like he didn't get too much of a say in it, other than just tell basically the boss, hey, we got to kill this guy. let's play the short game, not the long game. But when I saw his face, all those movies triggered, like Big Trouble in Little China, a bunch of movies. So I was glad he was in this one. I do not recognize this guy at all.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds 2?
Revenge of the Nerds 2.
That's what they went to
Oh,
Florida.
yeah, he plays. Yeah, that's right. I think he's one of the... Yeah, that's right. He was in... Yeah, he was in that movie too.
Kung Fu Panda, the father.
Yep, that's the
Panda's
voice.
dad.
Yeah.
See, again, he's been through... He's generational.
Yeah.
So it's not just the 80s, from the 90s films, like Wayne's World, and all the way up to Kung Fu Panda. So it's like, come on.
Yeah, so, I mean, it kind of sucks how he dies. He just... Kurt Russell literally just shoots him. I was like, that's when I was reading about the second director.
And then he gets the knife in the head in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
so it's like he always gets these weird deaths.
Yeah, I mean when he did the whole speech about getting that star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, he says like he sacrificed so much. Where he could have like said something back then. How come my character dies off so easily or like in a lean manner, but like he says he did it all just to go on to the next project as fast as possible. So good on him.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, back then, I'm pretty sure if he would open his mouth, he would have gotten blacklisted.
Yeah, especially back then.
Seinfeld, see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was. Shame people don't know his name as much as they should, including me. He was in Wayne's World. He was the dad of his girlfriend's dad.
Yep, and they had that cool little fight scene.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this dubbed. Again, by today's standards, is racially insensitive, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked, and he didn't complain about it or anything. He played it all out, and he went with it, which is like really rare nowadays. But yeah,
I think we could do a whole show based on James Hong's body of work. Pretty sure you go through his whole IMDb, you're gonna be like, I remember seeing that movie and that show. Balls of Fury. See, look at this.
I love Balls of Fury. Yeah.
We can do, me, you, and King Banana, an entire show just on this man alone, celebrating his work.
Quan, yeah. So they played Quan in this one. Lopez, I can't say too much about him. I didn't find too much about him in the IMDb stuff, but he was another henchman. Basically just second to Quan, I think. What were you saying, Anthony?
Oh, I'm looking at his film work now, and I'm like really impressed because I didn't know he was in Mulan.
Yeah, he was part 2. I didn't see part 2. I thought he was
No, first one.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I've seen this, I've seen that. And this is just his selected works.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I have a lot of movies to catch up
Dude,
on.
that was the one that came out, this year or last year with Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude,
I
that
haven't
was a
seen that
better
yet.
multiverse movie than Doctor Strange 2. I know it's a
That
controversial take because I like my MCU, but the way the story was set up and how they did it, I thought was great. Like it's an excellent movie.
What's up, just some bum? Happy Friday, everyone. I'm the chat. Yeah, in the chat. Yeah, we'll probably do another movie with him soon. So hopefully we do. I definitely want to do Wayne's World, to be honest, one day.
Yes.
And then I didn't know who this was, man. So his name is Robert the Czar, and his
He
character's
looks
name.
bizarre.
I looked up pictures, and that's how he looks like. I don't know if it was surgery or something, but his name in this movie is called Face.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Quagmire.
Yeah, that or Jaws from James Bond or from GoldenEye.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him now and I'm hearing giggity.
Yeah. He was kind of weird in this movie. He was basically the Jaws of this movie. He was just a
Yeah.
bully the whole movie. So
Because
I don't
every
know.
prison has to have a leader in the group.
Yeah.
He's like the designated leader.
He's like the leader that never dies until like the very, very last scene when they escape. He basically gets
Maybe it's
electrocuted.
me. When you're setting up an electrical plant in the system, you see how it was conveniently set up the way it was? So
Yeah,
that you kind of know what's going to happen. But eventually someone's going to get toasty.
so it's another scene that I grabbed for you is the jumping scene.
If I don't make this, are you even gonna try it?
Depends how close you get.
Man, 80s movies.
I call it the leap of faith.
Yeah.
Because first off, and you're doing it in the rain. No, you're telling me he's not going to slip?
Come on.
It was just again, it's the 80s, suspension of disbelief. But it was just like how they set it up. It was like, okay, the only way to escape is you have to take this big old leap, like a suicide dive, off a roof, onto a cable, in the rain, with a belt in your mouth.
Not
And you
slip,
just
not
fell down.
fall.
Nope.
Yeah.
And you executed perfectly on the first shot.
Yeah.
Listen, if this was a video game, it would have taken me 87 tries just to try to get it.
The movie could have ended there if he fell, so they had to, keep going.
Exactly. Game
So
over.
he dangles on there. He then hangs on with one hand, flips the belt over, throws the belt, hangs on. It was like, all right, this is going too far.
And as soon as he gets over the fence, he has to take a big drop down to the ground.
Yeah, and he lands on his back, and nothing happens. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're not gasping for air. You didn't crack a rib. All right, hey, you're a superhero.
Yeah.
Again, 80s.
So these rest of the movie, still images are like stills from the movie, and so this is like when they come to realization that they're going to jail. So, man, look at them; they're at their prime, I think. Here,
Look how young they were. It was just like,
so late night.
and I think that's also kind of bullshit too. If you want to nitpick, they're not gonna let you wear a gold chain in the prison. It's like that, like unless you go trade it for like a couple cartons of smokes or some shit.
it goes with the style,
Yeah, it goes with the character.
Yeah. But yeah, I got this image because I was like, wow, look at them. They're at their prime, and yeah, it was interesting. Just Some Bum says you should watch John Carpenter's The Thing during Halloween. Yeah, we could do that. We could watch a ton of movies during Halloween.
Anything John Carpenter is great.
Yeah, there's a ton of movies. So yeah, we could probably do all 31 days.
We could do The Thing. We could do Escape from New York.
Yeah, all the old school
Halloween.
ones. What's up, Jaden? Oh, what's up, Low Key Collector? What's up, everyone? This movie made me fall in love with Terry Hatcher long before she became Lois Lane. Love this film. Oh, he probably just. If Calvin, if you just came in, I'm gonna play this clip one more time for you.
Hey, Liz, let's go.
Okay, that's enough. What's up, man? Yeah, so these guys at their prime, and the James Bond mobile. The guy said it
yeah,
goes to 0 to 60 in like 5.2 seconds, and I was like, that's it's a little bit too much right here. What you think of this bad boy?
oh, that was the Deathmobile. It had, you know, all the typical 80s weapons, the roundhouse machine gun, bulletproof glass and material and all that.
It was over the
It was
top.
it was the 18 van on speed.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Gallic gun or the Torque gun or whatever you want to call it on the side, and all the buttons inside the the front compartment. It was just where's her stage show at? Where's her stage? I know, right? I should have got that too. Yeah, she was. That scene wasn't needed, but hey, man, like we're talking about it still. But you know, there's a lot of when I looked up this car, there's a lot of people that remade this car to take to car shows and stuff like that. And supposedly, like, this is like, I guess, a low key collectible right here. People just remade it, just like the Back to the Future car.
Yeah, look at it. It's got the hydraulics.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Was it like ATV type tires on it?
And then we got this one actor that built it. I forget this guy. I couldn't find his name, but like
Michael J. Pollard.
Oh, okay.
The reason I know that name is because there used to be a show in the late 80s, early 90s called The Adventures of Superboy.
Mm-hmm.
Where it had like a teenage Superman, and he played Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Oh, yeah, he played it perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
And if you ever seen the movie, he was in Scrooged with
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Yep. That's where he was.
So again, another one of those great actors that you've seen in so many movies, don't know his name, but the minute you see his face, you pick up everything. It's like, I know him from this movie, this movie, this movie.
Yeah. He's basically Q from James Bond. He makes all these weapons. He has like every gun you could think of, explosive you could think of, like all technology wise. He's Kurt Russell. Didn't someone say like, is he your relative by chance? Kurt Russell goes, he may be.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kurt Russell's the Punisher, and he's the oh shit! No, I forgot the guy that helps Punisher in the books. That makes all the weapons. Yeah, Punisher had his own little tech guy that did weapons and stuff for him.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the guy then. But so bringing it back to collectibles, I found. Oh, so there's like where I was saying they're without their shirt basically 70% of the film.
And of course, again, you have to have the gratuitous topless shot.
Yeah. No. So this wasn't the last one. This is the last one right here. So bringing it back to collectibles.
Hold on.
I think this is custom, but
okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. It'd be cool, right? Like
it would be cool.
Faux show.
You saw how my face. You saw my face lit up. I was like,
yeah. You're like, what? I'm glad I found this one because, like, I don't know if you ever watched Small Talk on CW on Collecting Weekly. It's on Thursdays.
No.
So there's a guy there yesterday. They called him the Count. It's basically a guy that made retro custom Star Wars 3/4 inch figures. So he made the backdrops and the figures themselves, and I wouldn't doubt that he had a hand in this. Like, he made really, really cool retro stuff, and I don't know. Would you pick this up?
Oh, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Maybe on eBay, man. We'll see.
That's really good if for a custom. Like, I mean, the Kurt Russell, you could kind of looks like a Han Solo.
Yeah. They reused the parts.
Figure.
Yeah. It even comes with the Uzi, so you don't see that these days.
Yeah.
He comes with a gun.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty damn good for custom. Even the packaging.
I know. I love the packaging. It's like, yeah, it's definitely calling it out 80s right there.
Now we
But
gotta get Terry Hatcher.
all right, so that's the end of the slides, and so we usually end these with score and final thoughts. So you could give it an A to an F, 1 through 100, 1 through 10, any score you like. But what score would you give this?
Oh, it's a solid B. Again, it's not a perfect film, and it's not meant to be a perfect film. It's meant to just to be a regular 80s action popcorn film that for the next hour and 45 minutes you just escape reality
Yeah.
and just enjoy it for what it is.
For me, like I want to give it a B just because like I have to put myself back, when it came out in order to understand it, right? Or in order to like love it a little bit more. Like during a time, I'm sure this is like there was nothing like it before. Like there was like buddies like this, cop buddies, whatever you call it. But like now watching it again, it's so cringy at some parts, but it's so like it makes sense for its time. Did not ever hear about this movie, know about this movie. Like I didn't even see that scene of Kurt Russell as a drag queen, and or like as like crossdresser or whatever. But no one ever mentioned that, so that caught my eye because there was like that specific scene that no one's ever talked about, to me at least. No. But the movie did its thing. Like it was drama, thriller, comedy, action. The action parts, of course, are like over the top, but for its time again, it was good. You know what? I'll give it a B. I'll definitely give it a B. Actually, I was gonna give it a C plus, but just jump it up to a B just because for its time, I'm sure I would have liked it a lot.
We didn't worry about that's cringy. It was just like, okay, it was part of the dialogue. You gotta add some humor to it. See, strong
A. So that's a B too, right? I would think.
Yeah, that's about a B. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why it's the kind of movie that if it's on TV, you're gonna watch it. Type of deal.
Yeah, like I recommend just watching it just to get the whole vibe of it, just to check it out too. I mean, like always, I would try to watch as many movies as you can when you can, but like, yeah, this one's like one of those I wouldn't mind watching again. But let's see. So, anything else you want to add on to this one before we end this one?
No, not really. I never have anything to say at closing. So.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay. So yeah, I love Sylvester Stallone in all his movies. I've never seen this one, so that's a cool one to add to the list now that I've seen it. Like,
yeah, I think was the start of the whole when he was picking roles that were not people didn't care for. But I think after this one, he started doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, which everyone really panned him for that. But then his career picked up once he did Cliffhanger.
Yeah, yep.
And that was another great one he did.
The beginning of that movie is always cringy too when he's trying to hold on. Yeah, Cliffhanger is another good one. But yeah, Sylvester Stallone, like one of the all-time greats. Kurt Russell, one of the all-time greats. It's like two actors that I've seen throughout my childhood live up to all the movies, and getting to see them together was an awesome treat for me. Like I definitely liked it.
Kind of like the Expendables, but not really.
Yeah,
it
was
like two big names come together: Stallone, Russell.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we also end it with what movie is next. So I'm gonna. Yeah, well, let's throw up some recommendations, but I'll throw it up in our Facebook group for the next movie. But it has to be an 80s movie. So we gotta name an 80s movie.
Okay, 80s movie. Are we talking like well-known, well-famous? Or are we talking about like extra cheese?
Any movie that you like, just put it out there. So I'm only gonna do 4 recommendations, and I'll put it on the group. But one recommendation has to come from you.
Okay. I just gotta double check. Okay, okay. I have one. It's a shocker. The 1981 comedy classic, coming of age comedy classic, Porky's.
Corkies?
Porky's. Porky.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
Porkies. Porkies. I
It
don't.
was American Pie before American Pie.
I think I could show
And there
this.
was
Yeah,
a
I could
very
show
young
this.
Kim, there's a very young Kim Cattrall in it. But otherwise, the rest of the actors are like no big name actors.
It looks like Police Academy, but like in a fraternity.
They're in high school.
Oh, they're in high school. Oh.
That's why I said it's American Pie.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
way
Cool.
raunchier.
So Anthony's picking Porkies. I'll put up the poll later today or later tonight, and so Porkies. I've never seen this one or heard of it, so it'd be cool
Yes,
if this
yeah, it spawned off 2 more sequels: Porky's 2 the next day, and then Porky's 3, Porky's Revenge.
Porky's Revenge. Yeah. A bunch of nude scenes, by the way, guys. So maybe we could check this one out.
Yes. See, we gotta get low key on this show because he picked another great one.
Bachelor Party.
Bachelor
Tom
Party is
Hanks.
one of my all-time favorites.
I don't think
This
I've
is
seen that one
before.
either.
Oh,
Before what?
my man. Before he did all the serious work like Philadelphia and all that. Like when he was still doing comedy.
Oh, I've never seen this one. Wow.
Bachelor Party is like an all-time. That's like my fave. My fave.
Oh, wow. There's a bunch of nude scenes in this one too, you guys.
Yeah. Nude scenes, drug use, donkey show. Yes. It is there, man.
Just a Bum says, not 80s movie. You all should do a drinking game. Watch Lord of the Rings. Every time they do a panoramic landscape scene, when they say the ring or Frodo, you got to drink.
Dude, I'll be drunk
I
in the
know.
first 90 minutes.
That's no fun. So we'll do that too. Bachelor's Party. I'll put it in the poll. And Porky's. And then Norman says Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've heard of that. I don't know if I've seen it.
You never seen Oh, that's another one of those well known. There's a lot of big name talent in that film. A great director. Just
Oh, who's the main actor? What's his name? I know that guy.
Judge Reinhold's in it. Phoebe Cates, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I mean,
Okay.
the names keep going.
So we'll do those three. If you guys can. Oh, look, Nicolas Cage is in that movie. Fast Times.
Yeah, he didn't even use the last name Cage. He used his real last name Coppola.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this is an old movie.
Oh, Sean Penn. That's right. The biggest name of all, Sean Penn.
The main actor. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So one more. So somebody else throw one, or if you know one, let's throw out one more. So we got Fast Times. We got Bachelor Party. We got Porky's, and one more. What's a good 80s movie?
And it all fits the theme because Bachelor Party does not have teens, but Fast Times at Ridgemont High takes place at high school.
Would you consider The Breakfast Club a good movie to watch, or is that too out there?
That's an iconic movie. That movie just is way above all those other three.
How about
And it's a John Hughes film. John Hughes films in the 80s are like its own separate entity. You have 80s movies, and then you have John Hughes films.
exactly? Yep. I
it's
completely
just like-
agree. There's Rambo. There's not that. There's Karate Kid. I didn't know Karate Kid was 80s.
I think 84.
Weird Science. That girl was really hot. There's Alien. There is.
Yeah, Weird Science also took place in high school. Was a John Hughes film.
You know what? I'll pick something random later tonight,
All right.
and I'll just put it up.
There you go.
Yeah, so Fast Time at Ridgemont High, and then Bachelor Party, and then Porky's, and I'll pick one random one, and we'll just put a poll out there, and then we'll get it
All right.
going for the next movie. But yeah, man, great recommendation. I don't think I'd ever watched this movie without you recommending it or even know about it. So big thank you to you, Mr. Kennedy, for picking that
No
one
problem.
out. Yeah.
I'm just an encyclopedia of pop culture knowledge of movie shows, music. So
But this invite goes to everyone else too. Norman, Justin Bum, Loki Collector, or anybody that wants to join next week. Like, definitely join in.
Loki, if Bachelor Party is picked, you have to be on the show.
Yeah, you have to be on the show. Or Norman, if Fast Time. Anybody.
Yeah,
like, either
Norman,
way.
yeah, whoever.
Yeah.
That's it. Whoever's pick is chosen has to be on the show with us.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to join in, Kennedy, next week or whenever, I'll try to do this Thursday. No, what's today? Friday. Friday's not too bad. Friday I don't have nothing going on, so Friday works. But if anybody else wants to join, we'll set it up. But Mr. Kennedy, thanks again for picking this movie, and I'm gonna be joining the club on the Everyday Collector.
I know.
Yeah.
I messaged him late. I'll make my debut next Friday on that show.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man.
Branching out.
Yeah. Oh, look, he even says bet. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll talk about more stuff on John's show tonight. But Kenny, again, thank you. Everyone, thank you to Loki Collector, Norman, Justin Baum, King Banana, Late Night, George Moss, Michael, and everyone else that joined tonight. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later tonight at the club. So have a good night, you guys.
Later.
See ya.